Hello Internet, the Linkzilla here. I gotta tell you everybody, I had an incredible day today. This is the kind of day that never happens in the mundane and boring life that I live. And it's the kind of thing that's just so incredibly exciting that you just have to express your feelings on it. You have to basically record what you're thinking, and you gotta put it on YouTube for everybody to see. And especially considering how badly you kind of like geek out like a nerdy fanboy, you gotta put that on the internet and let everybody make fun of you, am I right? This is so incredible that what happened to me today. As you can see from the title, the actual paleontologist, Dr. Jack Horner, paleontological consultant for the Jurassic Park franchise, actually visited my college, Kennesaw State University, today, April 30th, 2018, to give a lecture. He was part of a group giving a lecture on the origins of the universe, and his area of expertise are dinosaurs. And not only that, his lecture was riddled with references to Jurassic Park. Literally speaking, this is so incredible that this happened, and I'm just completely left mind-boggled that it even remotely happened, especially for someone like me, happening at my college at exactly the right moment for me to take part in this. But before we get to Jack Horner's lecture, I gotta tell you guys that it almost didn't happen. Allow me to explain. I had just come from one of my classes. Today was the final day of class. We were reviewing for the final. We get out at 1:45. As I'm walking back towards my car, I happen to notice that there is a sign that's posted near one of the trees on the way back to my car. And it's a sign that I hadn't seen before. And immediately as I pass by this sign, I don't notice the dinosaur. I don't notice the big neon green dinosaur on the sign. No, instead, what I notice are the words Jurassic Park. And once I had glanced those words in my peripheral vision, I immediately do a double take afterwards, and I look back at the sign, and now the sign has my attention. Because right above Jurassic Park, I see the words Jack Horner, paleontologist. And I realize that, holy crap, Jack Horner is here, and he's giving a lecture at my college. And I'm just left thinking that that is really incredible. What I find so ironic about this whole situation is that not only did I finish listening to my copy of the Jurassic Park audiobook, so it seemed like the absolute perfect time for this to happen, but I had actually realized that, rather recently, that John Horner actually cameoed in Jurassic World. In fact, that's him right there, right behind Hoskins. Hoskins pats Jack on the shoulder, but Jack turns away and shakes his head condescendingly. It's kind of funny. And I'm just thinking, like, I should probably go to that. I should probably get in on that. I've got time. I've got time before my next class. I look at the sign, and it says that the lecture is happening today. And it's going from 1 o'clock to 2:30. And I was thinking, oh, it's 1:45. I've already missed it. And so I think that maybe it's better this way. Maybe I should just go back home. Because right now, I have a few mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, it would be a great opportunity to listen to an expert talking about dinosaurs, but then again, I have my own mixed feelings about Jack Horner, which I will explain in another video. So as I'm turning to leave and head back towards my car, I look at the sign one more time and see just where this is being held. It's being held in the big auditorium in the Student Center, and I happen to be passing right by the Student Center, so I figured, what the hell? I go into the building, I go into the main hall of the Student Center, and it's better than I could even remotely have believed, because right there, right before the entrance to the auditorium, as you can see in this photo, they've got a little archway set up, a little display set up. Jurassic Park, over like this display of foliage with the puppet head of a velociraptor and the clawed hand reaching through it. And I'm thinking, wow, this is like the most exciting thing that's happened since I've been coming here. So of course I walk up to it and I take pictures because my family's not going to believe this. I gotta show this stuff off. This is happening at my college, and I got an opportunity to be in on it. And so I'm thinking that, like, wait a second, this is happening, and yet the hall is kind of empty. So I look around, and I realize that there's no one around, and the double doors that lead into the auditorium, they're closed. And those closed doors are just so heartbreaking to me at this moment, because having come from a theater background, I know that when there's any kind of performance going on, and those doors close, admittance is over. I'm actually really interested in getting in there and seeing this thing for myself, and so I actually take off my hat and press my ear against the crease of the door to actually make sure that it's happening. Because maybe the doors are closed, maybe it's just not ready yet, maybe they haven't set everything up, but sure enough, I hear someone speaking over the microphone through the crease of the door, and I'm thinking, oh, it started, and I'm left out. It's maybe better this way. I mean, I'm 45 minutes late. I've probably missed the majority of the lecture anyway. And so I sit by the bench, and so I'm sitting there thinking that, what if I just try to sneak in real quiet-like? Would that disrupt the entire thing? Why would it? Finally, someone comes out of the auditorium, and I'm thinking that, like, this could be my opportunity. I go up to him and I ask him, excuse me, sir, I know that the lecture has started, but is it okay if I go in there? I know that I'm late. I don't want to disrupt anybody. Is it okay if I go in? He smiles at me and says, I'm sure that it'll be alright. Go on in. And he holds the door open for me, and I swear, those doors opening might as well have come with the Jurassic Park theme song. So I go in, and I see that John Horner is giving his lecture up there on the stage, and he's got slide projectors showing images from Jurassic Park. And I'm just completely amazed that, oh my god, it's happening, and I'm actually here. As quietly as I can, I stay by the back row and get into a seat, and I sit down. And of course, I see that people are recording with, like, their own devices on their phones, and they've got little camcorders. They've even got a huge professional camera set up in the back, so I immediately whip out my phone and I start recording. Because I showed up late, I only got the last 12 minutes of John's lecture. Now, I don't think that I might have missed out much. In fact, I'm somewhat debating on whether or not I had actually arrived just shortly after John had started his piece, because some of the other lecturers had already gone. So there's a good chance that I might not have missed much. I do remember that at the time I came in, the slide that he had up on the board was currently of the Gallimimus stampede, and he was talking about how the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are social animals, about how they're thinking and they're conspiring to break free of the park, and that's why it inevitably failed. So I thought that was really interesting. So without further ado, here's the lecture on dinosaur DNA and whether or not it is possible to bring them back to life in our modern day with our modern technology by paleontologist Dr. Jack Horner.
And DNA in insects, we have not found, we don't know how to clone DNA. It gets out. We don't have a birthing chamber. We don't have anywhere to put the dinosaur or the embryo or the DNA. And last but not least, and I'll talk about it at the end, that's what I thought Triceratops looked like in 1993. I don't think so now. So they're all wrong. All the dinosaurs you see in Jurassic Park are wrong. One of the cool things, though, that came out of it, in 1993, we were able, a student of mine, Mary Schweitzer, and I were able to get a grant from the National Science Foundation to attempt to extract DNA from a dinosaur. We knew we couldn't get it from the emperor, we knew we couldn't get it from an insect, but we thought we might be able to get it out of a dinosaur. And so we went out and we got ourselves this beautiful Tyrannosaurus rex skeleton here on the right, and we got into the thigh bone, the femur bone, broke into it, got some tissue out of it, and took that tissue and tried to get DNA out of it. And we didn't get DNA, but we found these really cool red things. These cool things that were about the size of they looked like red blood cells. And thought maybe they were something like that. And so we drilled into them, got into them, and sucked some of the stuff out of what looked like the nucleus, And we did not, of course, get DNA, but we found heme, which is, of course, as Neil was saying, it is the iron, right? Formed in some supernova, right? And it is the foundation of hemoglobin. So that was pretty cool. But it wasn't DNA. And by that time, I'd been working on Jurassic Park and I wanted a dinosaur. I didn't see any reason I couldn't have one. So in 1999, I undertook a huge expedition to try to find some better preserved dinosaurs, hoping that we could find some DNA. And we found this site, we called it T-Rex. We found a whole bunch of T-Rexes and we named them all according to who found them. So Bob found T-Rex. We call it T-Rex. All right, and when, my job as a paleontologist and leader of the thing is to find things usually, or I send some people out to find things, and then when it's found, then you go out and you find somebody to dig it up, and of course those are graduate students. That's what graduate students are for. And you get a whole bunch of them and they dig, and they will dig for months, as long as you just give them sandwiches. And they excavated 1,000 cubic yards of rock by hand, got down to this Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton that we had found. It's not a particularly good specimen. It has a nice skull, and it's pretty. But we found what you see in blue, not what we found in white. It's not a complete one, but it's a pretty good one. But preservation was excellent, and so we took sections out of the bone, and we sent these sections to Mary Schweitzer, and she dunked them into acid to see what might be preserved. And what she discovered first was a tissue called medullary tissue, which happens to be tissue that's only found in female animals, female birds. And so it was the first dinosaur that was sexed. It was the first dinosaur determined to be pregnant. But what was really cool is that when she looked through the bone tissue that had been in the acid, she found some other structures. Now, this is the cortex of the bone, so you can see it's solid. It's a massive bone. It's 4 feet long, and it's a big animal. And in this section right here, you can see the actual tissue. You can see the tissue of the dinosaur. We were able to tell by lines of arrested growth that the animal died at the age of 16. But what's really cool is that in between, in those little black spaces that you see, out popped in this tissue, the little holes that you see, out popped blood vessels. They were clear and they were flexible. And they are 65 million years old. And people were like shocked. Oh my God, that's just not possible. Well, it is true. It's not possible by our old definition of what goes on after an animal dies. And what we discovered was, if something is deep inside a bone, where bacteria cannot get to it to destroy it, it will last for a long time. Some molecules last for a long time, and some don't. And in this particular case, elastin lasts for a long time, and so does collagen. And so we found osteocytes, we found cells, we found collagen, and we had heme. We had a lot of biomolecules from a dinosaur 65 million years old. But the cells didn't look that good. We could isolate them. You can see the structure. You can even see the nucleus. And so, of course, we got into the nucleus, tried to get DNA out of it. No DNA. And I thought, well, maybe it's just breaking down. Maybe it's just, the air got to it and destroyed it before you could do anything. So I built a laboratory in the back of an 18-wheeler trailer, a clean lab. We took the lab to the field so that we could do an extraction right there. We could take it, we could find a dinosaur, extract the material, put it through the laboratory, and see if we could find DNA. And the cells were beautiful. We got beautiful cells, but we did not find DNA. So, can't make a dinosaur the way they did in Jurassic Park. But, birds are dinosaurs. Birds are dinosaurs. You don't have to make a dinosaur, we already got them. No. Yeah. Yeah, that's what the sixth graders are like. I can say that they're all dinosaurs, but they don't look like dinosaurs. So the question, the thing is that we call them non-avian dinosaurs and avian dinosaurs, and non-avian dinosaurs gave rise to avian dinosaurs, and so we're left with a predicament. If we're going to make a dinosaur now, I think, we need to be able to actually reverse the process. Can we take an avian dinosaur and make a non-avian dinosaur out of it? Well, it turns out we have a whole bunch of biological modification tools. We already have the tools. We started with a wolf and we got whatever that is at the top. It's like an alien. And we have transgenic engineering. We take, so we also have transgenic engineering, we have knockout, we have modulation engineering, we have atavism activation. This is atavation activation. We turn on an ancestral gene. Turn on an ancestral gene and get teeth in birds. We can do that now. And then we've got cisgenesis, which is breeding. We also have CRISPR, Cas9, gene editing, we can do that now. And of course we have cytoplasmic hybridization. There are lots of ways to make different kinds of animals. And in fact, I've got a cool way to make a glow-in-the-dark pink unicorn if you ever want to hear about it. All right, so in 2009 I wrote a book about this, about how to build a dinosaur, how to make an actual living, breathing dinosaur. And, it's an interesting idea. In 2012 I started the laboratory at Montana State University, and we are attempting to make one. And because we know that these biological modification tools work. And basically we go into an egg and we alter the genes. We turn genes on or turn genes off, or we determine or change the timing when they are turned on and when they are turned off. And other labs have been doing this. This is 2015. A lab at Yale University was able to change the shape of the head of a bird and make it look more like a dinosaur. And a group in Chile was able to change the leg morphology, the shapes of the legs of a bird, to look more like a dinosaur. And our lab has been working on the hands and tails, but the cool thing about hands is, the primitive hand is three-fingered clawed hand that you see in Velociraptor, and in birds, those digits are all fused together. But if you look at the embryo has a three-fingered hand in a bird. And all you have to do is stop that gene from turning on, and you have a dinosaur hand. Right? So, and now we're working on the tail. We're having some difficulties with it because it apparently is not an atavistic gene. But all the rest of it is. And so what we're doing is we're trying to take a chicken skeleton and turn it into a dino chicken or a chickenosaurus. And with all the stuff on there, we can make a velociraptor-like head, we can give it teeth, we can give it arms and hands, we can fix its legs. The tail is really all that's left, other than putting claws on its hands. So we're trying to make a dinosaur. And if you saw Jurassic World, we're basically making an Indominus Rex. Right? And it won't be that scary. It'll be domestic. Just remember, you have cats and dogs that are also GMOs, just like our dinosaur will be. And those GMOs don't usually eat people. I told you that in the beginning that the T-Rex and the Triceratops were wrong. They were right in 1993, and I told you that I don't think they look like that now, and it's true. I do not like, you're not going to like this, and your sixth graders are going to hate this, but I think Triceratops and T-Rex look like this. I think they were feathered, and I think they were vividly colored. And I think they danced and sang. Just like birds. Thank you very much.
Now, anybody who knows me knows I have somewhat mixed feelings about Jack Horner that I mentioned earlier on in this video. But regardless of those feelings, I feel that it was an absolute privilege that I got to take part in something like this. Because something like this was absolutely incredible for me to experience in my lifetime. It was absolutely incredible because regardless of my mixed feelings about Jack Horner or not, I respect the man as a paleontologist, and more often than that, I have to respect his connection to Jurassic Park. Because in a lot of ways, without John Horner, Jurassic Park would not be the Jurassic Park that we know that it is today. Hell, Alan Grant might be a completely different character without Jack Horner to inspire him to be. Although, I actually stand by what I say when I believe that over the years, Dr. Grant from the movie, he gradually moved away from John Horner, became his own distinct character in the Jurassic Park universe. It was absolutely incredible to realize that one person who is an expert in their field had actually had a hand in making my all-time favorite movie, came down to visit my college and give a lecture to me and my fellow students, and knowing that I had the opportunity to actually witness him giving this lecture. And it was absolutely incredible because I was left absolutely stunned that it had even happened. I feel absolutely privileged to have partaken in this event. It's a part of Jurassic Park's history, and for once, I actually got to share in it. Before we go, I wanted to thank every single one of you guys for watching this video. I know that basically it was probably hard to listen to because it's literally just me rambling like the insane fanboy that I am, and I gotta say that, like, I just feel just so uplifted, you know? This was an incredible day to be a Jurassic Park fan, and unfortunately, John Horner's lecture had a little bit of bad news, which I will cover in another video, but right now, I just want to get my thoughts and feelings on having the absolute privilege to see this lecture, to see this man talk in live and in person, and realize that I was there. I was there watching this happen. The only way that this could be made any cooler is if R.N. Rod were to appear on my college and give a similar lecture. R.N. is an incredible scientist, he's a student of paleontology and gives incredible lectures, and he's also a political activist on the behalf of science education in the United States. I highly recommend his YouTube channel if you ever have the opportunity to check him out. Thank you all so much. I'll see you next time. Hey guys, I know that the video is over, but I just wanted to share one last anecdote from my special day on April 30th that I just had to share with you guys, okay? So after the lecture is over, I leave, and I go out, I start headed toward my car in the parking lot, and I happen to pass by a Jeep. And I see that the Jeep has the Jurassic Park sign on the side of it, and I'm just thinking, wow, I am finding it all over today. And the absolute best part about it is, I'm passing by a couple of guys who assume that the car belongs to Dr. Horner, and I'd like to think that it is his car, but I have my reasons to doubt that it is, mainly because I imagine that he would be driving a more professional car, As you can see from the picture, it has a sticker that has my school's emblem on it right then and there, and I don't think that Dr. Horner would actually have an emblem of the school that he's just currently lecturing at on it. I'm pretty sure that this Jeep belongs to a student, especially because the car, it's overparked on the white line, so whoever has that car basically might get a ticket, but I just felt that it was like an incredible way to end out this incredible day here at Kennesaw State University, the day of Jurassic Park. It was just a great time.